Welcome to the first episode of Bowie Talk. I'm Oz. This is my cousin Darius, and this is our new talk show where we will discuss relatable life topics, current events, sports news, finances, law, getting away from stereotypes, learning to think for ourselves, breaking negative traditions, and more. The show will primarily consist of me and my cousin, but we will also have some other family members come in and speak. And then we will have guests join in on some episodes that specialize in the topic that we will discuss for that day. Everything will be opinionated, but at the conclusion of the discussion, peace will be made. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of Bowie Talk. I'm Oz. This is my cousin Darius. And we got our guest in the building, Jawan, aka Bandit Smooth. And we're going to be talking about sugarcoating today and the different aspects of it. Some people, they love to be sugarcoated whenever they receive messages. Some people, they don't like it. Sugarcoating can lead to more lies on top of lies, but we're going to talk about everything dealing with sugarcoating. How do you deliver your messages? Do you even like it if somebody sugarcoats a message towards you? Can you pick it up? So we're going to be speaking on a little bit of everything today dealing with that. First, we're going to start off letting our guest speak. We're going to go ahead and let him explain how he views sugarcoating. Go ahead.
So, and I had this conversation with a lot of my friends, man. And when it comes to delivering messages and stuff, I think that the people that you surround yourself with is a big deal, especially when it comes to telling the truth and sugarcoating. A lot of times people tend to sugarcoat things because they kind of want something or want to be in your circle. It's more geared towards a lot of fakeness. For me personally, I'd rather have somebody tell me the truth, straight up, straight point blank to period, so I can kind of analyze it a lot more better. You sugarcoat things, I have questions, and so a lot of the questions don't concern the topic at all. Um, so I feel like with the society and what we're going to right now, a lot of people tend to like a lot of sugar on their truths versus somebody just telling them point blank and period what it is, and they confuse that with uh, somebody liking them or loving them more because they're on their side more versus somebody telling them the truth, and that's the person that's actually their friends or what I'm saying, looking out for them or whatever whatnot. um Honestly, man, I think that the like that point blank raw truth is something that we've gotten away from in society, and I think that that's a problem. What y'all got?
So I'll chime in. Honestly, I'm at a contradiction when it comes to sugarcoating. Me myself, I prefer a person be completely honest with me, and I would prefer to be completely honest with others. But then I also understand that I'm not like everybody else. You know, not everybody came up the same way, so not everybody can deal with the same issues in society, or not everybody can deal with aggression the same way. And I give you an example. And where I learned that, being in the military, in which all three of us were in the military, different branches. I was in the Navy, Oz was in the Air Force, Jordan was in the Army. We're all veterans now, but while in the military as a young sailor, um, I preferred my I preferred my leadership to be straightforward with me, because I didn't want to have to go around corners or whatnot when I had to figure things out. Just tell me what's going to happen here and now. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me piece by piece or whatnot. That's how I preferred it. But then the person next to me, they could have grew up, you know, completely different from me. They could have grew up in a very sheltered household, and they weren't used to aggression. Whereas I was used to it. Growing up where I grew up, I was used to aggression. So this person, my supervisor yelling at me, I'm used to being yelled at. I've been yelled at through school. Went to alternative school, was yelled at on the football field. You get used to that. That becomes secondary. Whereas this person, they're not used to that. Used to being yelled at. I've seen sailors who worked under me, I could say something as simple as, "Hey man, you're doing a horrible job," and they start crying. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to sugarcoat, I'm at a contradiction because I understand that people come up differently and people perceive things differently. Even though I prefer you be straightforward with me because I'm gonna be straightforward with you. At least I want to be straightforward with you. But I do understand that not everybody can take that aggression. When it comes to that blunt truth that I like to give. Not everybody can take that, and so I mean that's my take on that.
Okay. When it comes to me, I'm both sides with the sugarcoating. Like you mentioned, Darius, some people they just can't take it, and sometimes it's all about the delivery of the message. Um, but in some aspects, I would say a lot of people sugarcoat, even though they say they don't like to do it. A lot of people do it with their kids, even though they may do it with adults. I mean, a lot of people do it with kids. Whenever your child is playing a sport, some parents just don't want to be straight up and just tell their kids like, "Oh, you're terrible." But of course, I mean, you don't want to do that. So sugarcoating isn't always bad, I will say, but it has to get to a point to where you just can't consistently do it. Now, if you consistently do it, then you just setting that person up for, trouble. But, same thing with with the friend. Some people they have friends that they know they can say stuff straight up with. Some friends, you have to sugarcoat it a little bit, but you're still being honest. You don't want to give them the hard truth, but you give them the truth. Either way it goes, I look at sugarcoating as it shouldn't be done. It's not a communicative skill or something that's going to benefit you. It's a trick, basically. I mean, it's all you're doing is just dressing up a lie, basically. Sometimes it may be the truth, but either way it goes, I feel like it's necessary and unnecessary. But that's how I look at it.
I feel
I
you. I
just
feel y'all. So I got like kind of a multi question on this one.
got you.
Um, so how do y'all feel like that affects our youth as far as the way we communicate with them? Do you feel like it's setting them up for success or failure as far as how they receive information from people and how they want to receive information from people versus how they should, in a sense, not completely harden their skin, but what I'm saying, have a little bit more tough skin when it comes to certain things. And two, also, how does it affect your friends and family or people that you communicate with on a daily basis, as far as how you tell the truth to those people as well?
Well, I'll go ahead and start off first since I mentioned the thing about sugarcoating messages to your kids. Uh, you can do the sugarcoating when they're at that certain age where they're young and playing sports, and you just don't want to give them the hard truth and make them feel bad. Now, but it will have to get to some point to where you have to start like being more honest. But like I said, it's all about delivery. Some people have terrible communication skills. I mean, you could tell a person the hard truth, but you could say it in a way to where it's not gonna like, just tear that person's, feelings apart or, make them feel discouraged. You could still give that message in a positive way, I should say. Um, but with friends and family, if you do the sugarcoating with friends and family, it's going to get to the point to where people are going to start picking up on it. People are going to stop talking. Well, I would say when they need to get some serious straight up information from a person, they're going to stop coming to you because they know that you're going to end up telling them what they want to hear. And if that's not what that person needs at the time, then they're definitely not going to come to you. But we have said already in the episode that you will have some people that just love to get that positive information or love to get their ego stroked. So they're going to talk to the people who love to sugarcoat. And those people that do it for them, they know that that's what that person likes to hear. But, that's from what I've seen in life. And, we've all seen different situations of sugarcoating. But Darius, how do you feel about it with the
So
the aspect of doing it with the kids and also doing it with family and friends?
So once again, I'm at a contradiction with it. But I feel, when it comes to contradicting, I feel, sometimes contradicting is maturing. Um, and I'm at a contradiction with how you would come at children with the truth, simply because children are sensitive. Children are very sensitive creatures, very, very sensitive. And the way we raise them, uh, what do we give? If we give them that truth, that, just like you said earlier, it's about how you give that message. You know what I'm saying? So if if I'm trying to give my kid the truth, but that truth comes off as me being firm or me being tough on her, then that that may hurt her. That may hurt her feelings. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want your kid feelings hurt. You want your kid to be happy, grow up a stressed as life, because hurting kids' feelings, man, that creates stress, anxiety, depression. They start questioning mommy and daddy love you. Like, ain't no telling what going through these kids' heads. So, sometimes like with kids, you have to sugarcoat it, but you don't want to, because truth be told, once they get out here in society's not gonna sugarcoat shit. Nothing. Nothing at all. Society's gonna sugarcoat nothing. So we sugarcoat to our kids for 18 to sometimes 20 plus years for them to jump out here in society who's that big wolf. No mercy. No mercy. But if we raise our kids as wolves as kids, then they tend to grow up to be evil people. You know what I'm saying? So us sugarcoating sometimes sugarcoating to a kid sometimes levels them out by the time they get 16, 17, 18 years old, where it's like, okay, I know I know what sugarcoating is, but I know I gotta find the real truth in that sugarcoat. I gotta find the hard truth. I would prefer to be straight forward with kids, but heck, I have a daughter, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I am a very blunt person, but when it comes to my daughter, I have to sugarcoat. Sometimes I have to sugarcoat, because my daughter
Right.
hit me with that face. My daughter hit me with that face, and like I feel bad. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I done messed up. So it's it's situational. It's
Yeah,
situational.
it is. It is. I agree
Situational.
on that.
It's situational. So
I can definitely feel that, man. I can kind of give y'all, I guess, a little bit of idea of it, of how I deal with it. So with my son, and I guess the way with society is right now, I'm a little bit rough on him,
right.
but I don't take love away from him when I do be rough, right? Because I didn't have that firm. No, don't get me wrong, my mom was rough. Ooh, man,
Okay.
she was rough. But that was because I was messing up when I was a kid, though. So that was understandable. But the problem what I had was I didn't have that male figure in my life to actually be firm with me, but in a sense to where I can understand it as a man. So everything that was coming from my mom, I wasn't receiving it as that. I was receiving it as aggression or something like that. Um, so that kind of goes towards Darius' point where sometimes kids receive it in a different way, shape, form, and stuff. So with me explaining things to my kid, I try to keep it to a point where I don't allow him to think that it's okay, so I try to be firm, but at the same time I try to explain why I'm being the way I am. You know what I'm saying? Or
Mhm.
why I'm doing it. So that extra explanation is to show them that I still, no, I really do care, but I
Right.
don't want you to think that the world is going to give you stuff just because
Mm-hmm.
it's, what I'm saying, that's what it is. We live in a world where, what I'm saying, things aren't always what it seems. Shit,
Exactly.
70% of the time, it's not what it
You
seems.
do what you see.
And with a lot of things that's being sugarcoated in society, it's hard to really decipher what the truth is and what it's not if you're so used to hearing it come from a place where it's always sugarcoated.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to harden your skin to be able to understand what the truth really is, so that way when you get into society you can understand what the bull really is.
Talk
So
your shit, smooth.
that's kind of my take on it as far as the kids. And did have another question too, because it kind of entwines with what I just talked about. Y'all
Yeah,
think
smooth.
y'all think like a sugarcoating can be a form of control. Like it's a way to tell somebody something to enough to where you want them to think a certain way about you, or how you manipulate the truth in a way to where it caters more towards you because you don't want that person to kind of feel some type of way about you, or you think that it's just somebody just did that out of need of care.
Well, you kind of gave the description of sugarcoating in it, what you just said, manipulative. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what you're doing. You're manipulating the truth. You know, when you sugarcoat to a person. Um, however, like when you were talking about, um, you know, how you explain, you know, to your son, you know, I've had, you know, my experience with my daughter. You know, she's 6. Um, and I had to get on to her one day. You know, I had to get on to her one day, and you know that day made me, you know, think back to when my mom used to tell me, "This gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you." You know what I'm saying? It really made me think about that because, like, it hurt me, man. It really hurt me to get on my baby. Because, you know, I just love her dearly. You know, so it's but when it came to what I had to talk to her or what I was gonna get on to her about, I sat her down beside me. And you know, because my dad never did this for me, you know what I'm saying? And that, like, and we're gonna talk about a lot of this stuff in future episodes. But my dad never did that to me, you know, and I got my ass tore up a lot. But you know, I sat down, I sat her down beside me, and I told her, this is why you're in trouble, you know. And then I said I had her explain back to me. So why are you in trouble, you know? And she explained it to me. And so do you understand? And then she understands. So then she already, so now you know why you're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times I wish, you know, my dad would have sat me down and did that with me, because a lot of times, man, like, it got to the point where I had so many ass whoopings that I just felt like the dude didn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really felt that way, but I don't never want my daughter to feel that way about me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, I try to break that cycle of, especially if I have to get on to her, I don't want to be mad when I get on to her. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if I'm mad, when I'm mad, I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. You know, it's gonna come straight hard. It's gonna come hard to, kind of like when I talk to a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you that. It's the cold truth. You know what I'm saying? And which that's very sexist. I would say that's very sexist. That, you know, I am that way with guys, but with, you know, a female is different, and it's the way we were raised. It's our culture. You know what I'm saying? It's our culture. But I have to I don't, you know, talk to her much when I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to see that side of me. Even though one day in society she gonna see that side of somebody else, another man in society. One of these days, you know, once she's out on her own, she'll see somebody angry. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to see it coming from me. But with her, I do sugarcoat a lot. You know, I sugarcoat her more than anything. I'll be honest with you, and I don't like it, but it's very sexy to say. But she's a girl. You know what I'm saying? People tend to say that girls are more emotional. So you have to, you know, treat them as such.
And I'm gonna touch on a little bit what both of you said. First, Juwan, I answer your question, and I kind of touch on what Darius said. Uh, to answer your question that you asked earlier, Juwan, um, I'm gonna answer for the people delivering the sugarcoating message and for the people receiving it. For the people that deliver the message, kind of like I said earlier, um, some people they deliver it because they know who they're talking to. Sometimes those people they just want to seem like the nice person. They
All right.
they never want to seem like that person who's just you know, this person right here, they're gonna tell me, you know, how they feel, and they don't care about my feelings. So some people they'll give the message that way, to where they will sugarcoat to try to please somebody. They want to be that pleaser in the conversation, you know, to the point to where they can be that listening ear for everybody. Some people will do that sugarcoating for everybody, so that way they'll seem like the positive person. But some people will be straightforward with it and tell you the straight hard truth. They may be looked at as, you know, that mean person, but like what Darius said, you know, sometimes it's just how they were raised or just how they are. You know, they're just a blunt person. But what I would say for the person receiving the message, you got to pick up on stuff like that. If a person is sugarcoating you, let them know. Don't just always accept it. Say something so that way they can start being fully truthful with you. Because with the sugarcoating, they're not being 100% honest about it, or they're not telling you everything what's really on their mind. They're telling you what you want to hear. So call that person out if they are sugarcoating a message and giving it to you. But and to go what Darius said, I know you mentioned with your dad, you didn't have that to where he would sugarcoat stuff, or kind of talk to you like certain ways and give you like have certain conversations with you. That goes to something that we're going to talk about on another episode with breaking that generational trend, like not doing what if our fathers or mothers lack some, we don't drag that on and continue it, because then we won't end up fixing the problem. We'll have to pretty much hope that our kids would change it in the future, which it shouldn't be that way. But we should be able to fix everything we can. But yeah, with that, with the sugar coating, I know that we're kind of running out of time on the episode, but I do want to say I'm going to give my last thought on it. Hey, if you're the person doing the sugar coating, come on, think about how you would want a message relayed back to you. If you don't want anybody sugarcoating with you, don't do it to other people. Just go ahead and let them know the truth. It's different ways that you could tell the truth. You could tell it in an aggressive way. You could tell it in a way to where you're sympathetic. I mean, and you could say it in a positive way. So I mean, you better choose one of them, but just be honest with the person. And like I said, again, for the person who's receiving it, start calling people out on it. Because if not, you're going to end up in that same boat with everybody, where people are going to end up feeling like they have to sugarcoat stuff for you. But if you call people out on it, then they'll know not to do it.
So, me, I give my closing remarks. Me, kind of got my opinion on it is a little different. For me, it's more like I said, it's situational. It's very situational. It just depends on who you're dealing with. You have to know who you're dealing with. If it's a person who can accept the brutal honest truth, then give it to them. You know what I'm saying? If that's how they want it. But if it's a very emotional, timid person, then you can't you can't force stuff down their throat. You know what I'm saying? You gotta talk to them on their level. So I feel it's situational. I'm not a fan of sugarcoating, but I have to do it. I myself have to do it, even though I'm not a fan of it. I have to. I don't have to really. I don't really have to do it, but in order to maintain a certain peace, I have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to do it. You know, you can't be an asshole with everybody. You just can't. You know, one thing I wanted to piggyback off what you said earlier, but I figure I just wait. We'll definitely talk about that on a different episode when you was talking about those people who want to be loved by everybody. I had a question. And my question was, do you think a person can be loved by everybody and truly love him or herself,
Oh,
and why? Why not?
I can answer that question. To be honest with you, I don't think if a person is seeking to please everybody, that's an easy answer. They don't love themselves. The reason being is because if you're looking for attention to a point where you got to step outside of your character in order to please others, then that means that you haven't truly took the time out to get to know yourself. And when people tend to be in that situation, it weighs in differently, especially psychologically on them, man. A lot of people who do that, you can almost see the the depression on their face because they need that acceptance and they need that type of attention from you versus somebody who's happy with themselves. Hey, they're just, hey, I tried, but I'm good to go, man. If you don't like me, you don't like me type attitude. So, and I say that to a lot of people that you can't please everybody, and
It's true.
you can't try to go out and mash with everybody's personality because certain people you just not supposed to mash with. It is what it is. You need to learn yourself, and
George,
figure out
yeah.
figure out where you're coming from as a person. And be honest with you, if you come from a place of realness, you come from a place of who you are and what you're about, people are gonna levitate to you anyways. You know what I'm saying? Even if your attitude or your personality don't match with theirs. So you know, for those people who do that sugarcoat or tell half truths in order to be around a certain group of people, you got to really sit down and look deep in yourself about that. But as far as my closing remarks, man, it's hard, man. It's hard for me to be that person to sugarcoat or be able to talk to people in a certain way because of my personality, which I understand that. I honestly, I think that's one of the things that I have to work on as a person. But because naturally, I just, what I'm saying, if it's true, I just tell it like it is. I'm like, hey, bro, that's what it is. But I don't come from a place of hate. I come from a place of love. Anybody else ever known me, I always came from a place of, love. I don't have no side objectives. I don't have no reason or ways to try to play somebody in order to get somewhere in life because I can pretty much do that myself. But if you're doing that, if you're the type of person that do that, shoot, man, you got a long road ahead of you, bro, because you're gonna get a lot of disappointments coming up in life trying to do that.
Oh,
So, hey, chat, tell us how you feel. Shoot us some comments, subscribe, like, and hit me up at Bandit Smooth. And I'll be here with these guys for a minute, man. We're gonna have a lot of discussions in the future
Yes,
about a lot
sir.
of different
Yes, sir.
topics.
Yes, sir. Ask questions. Ask a question. Let us answer your questions. Like, um, we're very intellectual people. So give us something. Give us something to give you feedback on our opinion. We like to give people our opinion, whether you agree with it or not. It's just we're gonna express ourselves. You express yourself. Hell, reach out to us. We love to conversate with whomever about whatever, as long as it's logical and we can get a good conversation out of it and learn something, then we're all for it. So
that's true.
definitely do that.
That's true. And seriously, the questions that you guys bring up, if it's something that we don't fully know, we will have guests on the show that do specialize in these areas, so that way they can give their viewpoint, educate us on different aspects of the topic. So please subscribe, comment down below, and let us know what you think. Let us know what you would like to hear. And I'm a man that doesn't like to be found, so I'm not on social media right now. I put it down about 2 years ago, and I never picked it back up. So if you do need to get in touch with me, mention it down below in the comments, and I will reach out to you and get you my information if you would like to contact me. Darius, you can let them know how they can reach out and contact you.
Yeah, I on IG at King underscore Darius. Um, that's really all I use on Snapchat. Morgan's Dad 2014 4. So 20144. And before I let you go, I want to just leave you with this. Um, Usually, your more aggressive people are people who are still trying to find themselves. People who have found themselves or are finding themselves, coming into that part of their life. Usually, they're more laid back and things tend not to bother them as much. They're not trying to portray something else. They don't have time to be mad. They've realized, you know, that you don't have forever. People tend to tell us all the time that, oh, you got plenty of time. You really don't. You really don't. As Drake said, time flies. You got to watch the time because it's flying by. Just yesterday, we were all in high school. you know, walking around. We thought it was cool to wear the little bit of t-shirts that where you saw the top of your pants and your boxers, without slacking. You know what I'm saying? That we thought that was cool back in 2008, 2007. And look at us now. All of us in our 30s. You know what I'm saying? We were teenagers. We were 17, 18. Time flies. And how many people we know from our city, people that we grew up with, people that we ate with, you know what I'm saying, that we spend like houses that are dead now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we don't have forever. That's one of the things that we want to get people to understand is that we don't have forever, and life would be better if we just open up and just talk about whatever, you know, rather than just keeping stuff to yourself. For some reason, we have that notion that it's better to just hold stuff in, and you know that turns you against people. You know, you start to think that people, you know, are hating on you or whatnot, when the majority of people really don't give two shits about you. You know what I'm saying? So this show is really, we really want to get people to communicate and just open up and just talk about whatever, anything that bothers you, anything that you don't like, dislike, and learn how to communicate with others, whether you guys agree or not. You got to learn how to come to peace at the end and respect each other's opinion. Whether a person is a Democrat and this person is a Republican, you know what I'm saying? Like if you find things, if we tell, or you, hey, this person a Black Panther, this person a Klansman, if we try to find more things that we have in common than worry about what we have that, you know, that aren't alike, more of us will get along. You know, so
It's true.
that's what this show is about. You know, we want to teach people how to communicate and open up, and especially guys. You know what I'm saying? Especially guys. Um, Teach you how to be more open with yourself. You know, we're gonna get into some very in-depth conversations. You know, talk about shit that go on in our life. You know what I'm saying? That go on in our life. Shit. As long as these guys are willing to talk about, hey, I'm willing to talk about it. I put my life on Front Street. You know, so if we're gonna do that, we're gonna do it.
That's right. That's right. And one last time, remember to click that subscribe button. If you are subscribed, every time we post a video, you will receive the notification and know about it. But you need to stay tuned with us. Like Darius said, we're going to have some really good conversations. But other than that, we're out, and stay tuned for the next one.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.